We're going to be using black. Real red. Bright red. Sun-kissed peach. An antique white. It's a Vallejo flow improver. First, we're gonna black in our books that we're gonna change the color to, and I like to reprime everything that I got overspray on, just to make sure that it gets that natural color that I'm gonna change it to. But alright, now we're gonna take this black that we already have out, and I'm gonna mix it in with that real red. You get this dark red. So we're gonna get this little cloth that you would see like at your grandmother's house or something. I don't know. So we're going to lock it in with that mix of that black and real red. Now we're going with a little bit more of that real red. Getting from the highest point, as you see, as on the corner of the bookshelf. And I'm working it down. Going back and forth, blending in those two colors right there. So we got a base coat, and then we got a mid-tone. So I'm going to go and add a little bit more of that real red. Mix it in with that darkened red. Just to make that transition be nice and real smooth.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
Right here I'm like freestyling a couple of lines to it to make this cloth look a little bit more 3D. That's looking pretty good, but we're gonna bring it up a little bit more. So now we're going with that bright red, mix it in with that real red, give it another little highlight. As you see right here, working on just right on the edge where the light would hit it the most. Like the ends right here, I feel like it's gonna be a little frayed. It's been there for a while. It's starting to come apart. You know how like old jeans are. Adding this highlight, second mid-tone. It's looking pretty good. Now we're gonna use some of this sun-kissed peach with that bright red. And now we're gonna add our highlight. I try to stay away from just like a bright white, just like a normal white. It just makes everything look pink. So you want to go for like an off white to get colors to brighten up. So here it is. I'm getting a hit. Just the ends right there. Like it's starting to fray. These colors right here, I might use. I might not.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's whatever colors I had on my wet palette. This is the browns I'm going to be using. I'm going to use burnt umber, burnt oxide, and real brown. Got to get our metallics. Got mocha, copper, silver, and gold. Antique parchment, and some flow improver. So we're just mixing in a little bit of this burnt peach here. Getting this scroll all painted up. Getting the base coat down. And then we're going to add the highlight of that antique parchment. Got some more scrolls right here. Locking that base coat right in. Being careful, trying not to get it on that little cloth. Here we are. Now we're going to add that antique white with that color. Add a little bit of highlight. Just hit the highest surfaces where the light would hit it the most. Locking it right in.
It's all about humanity.
Now I'm adding a little bit more of that antique parchment. Antique white, whatever the hell it was.
It's all about humanity.
Just brighten that up a little bit. Just kind of make it like an eggshell. Just hitting it a little bit more. As you can see, it's starting to pop a little bit. Boom. There it is. Now we're going with that bright red. And a little bit of that real red. Just to darken it up a little bit. And we're going to hit this little vial right here. This little jar. When I saw these bookcases and I saw all these little vials right here, I was just thinking Diablo. I want to make these look like Diablo. So now I'm going to take some skeleton bone, and on that second bookcase I got that skull with a candle on top, so I locked that in with that skeleton bone, added some highlights to it. Now I'm going to take this blue, and as you see, I got that other vial locked in. And what I did right there is I just took the colors that I took, added a little bit of white, put it on the top, and then added a bright white dot right on the corner of it, and it made it look perfect. Now I'm going to take this kiwi, and I'm going to get this other little vial that's on this bookshelf inside that second shelf right there. I'm going to lock it in. Get that base coat. Now I'm going to take some of that antique white and a little bit of that kiwi. I'm just going to brighten it up a little bit. And just one little line. Boom, right there. That's it. And that's how I did it. Looks pretty aggressive right now, but once it dries, it will mute down. Now we're going with some real brown. Thin down like a glaze. And we're going to go right over this book, right on the top. Working it right in. Looking pretty good. And I hit it all over the edges wherever I saw it. I saw some other books, so I needed to lock those in. Here's one on the bottom shelf. There's another one laying down on the bottom shelf. I'm going to hit it with that. Now I'm going with that blue. I'm going to lock that in. So all these colors that I'm going to be using, I'm just going to pick out just some random books and just go with it. Here's that antique parchment. Got some red in there. Whatever I had on my wet palette, I just use it up. Now I'm going to use some of this Christmas green. Need to split some of these books up a little bit with some color. And I'm using all plaid paints, as you see right here. And it's looking really good. It's looking really good. Now we're gonna go with that copper. And right here on the spine, there's a couple of little strapping pieces on there. So I'm just gonna lock them in. So as you see, I added some of that copper. Now I'm going to silver. Gonna do the same thing. Gonna hit this blue book. Same thing. Just whatever I felt, I just went with it. Took some artistic liberty right here and just whatever my eyes saw, I just went with it.
Back from the dead.
And right here, I just took that silver and I hit that vial right there. That kiwi vial. The scrolls have a little piece right at the end. Now we're going with some gunmetal gray.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun.
I ran out of silver, so I went to gunmetal gray. And I'm hitting these vials right on top. Kind of wanted to show like there's different styles of jars out there. Now I'm taking some of that black and I'm going with this little piece of parchment right here, and I'm gonna start writing in some scripts. So first I had to get my little logo on the top, and I'm using a stippling method, like very lightly touching the tip of my brush on it. And as you see right here, I'm just dotting it, just random dots, big, small. As you see, some of them are big, some of them are small. It don't matter, makes it look good. So I'm taking some more of this black and I'm gonna do a little label on this book. As you see right here, I'm just lightly touching it. Super light pressure. This is my logo I've always used in every one of my drawings. Now I'm taking some of that silver and I'm just gonna highlight some of the edges just to give it some depth.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Boom, it's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to use a gloss varnish from Army Painter. I'm going to, after that dries, I'm going to use a wash method. And then after that, I'm going to put that anti-shine varnish on it. But right here, I'm going to take some of this royal purple. And I just thought that I needed to do something with this wizard cap. So I went purple.
Hell yeah.
Locking it in. Got some more of that blue. Locking that in. Adding more of a shadow. Like that candle is actually casting a light. And boom, that's what it looks like, guys.